Hey there guys, what's happening? Thanks for tuning back into the channel. Today we're here with the Rustbelt Mechanic. Now we're going to have to answer one of the biggest questions that I get asked all the time. Since I am the shop foreman, a lot of you guys know that if you've been following the channel for a long time, that I am the shop foreman here at a Dodge dealership. Now you guys want to know, what are my specific responsibilities as a shop foreman? Now it's going to be a little bit different than a lot of other shops, but I wanted to go through just kind of an idea of what I do as a shop foreman as compared to a lot of other technicians here in the shop, give you guys kind of an idea of what I do. Now we're going to give you guys a little bit of a background to how this shop works. We work at a shop that is actually kind of small compared to a lot of other dealerships. We have 4 technicians plus myself, who is the shop foreman. One of those technicians is hourly. The other 3 are full-time flat rate technicians working here that are at least halfway certified in the Chrysler realm. We don't have any flat rate technicians that just do like used cars or anything like that. Everybody is certified at least a little bit to be able to work on everything that comes through the door. Now our hourly guy, Mick Bake, you guys know him. He's pretty awesome. He's doing a lot of learning. He's got a lot of ambition. He wants to work his way up in the industry. Big props to him. Go check out his channel. I'll leave that one in the description below. Also, we've got Captain Ron as well as 2 other of our flat rate techs. Now most larger shops and larger dealerships, they have their shop foremen paid a very different way than the way that we do it. But that's also because they have a lot different, I guess, things to do than what I do. We don't have a whole lot of technicians, a whole lot of backlog work that the normal shop foreman would have to do. So me as a technician I still have to work the flat rate system. Most other shop foremans or supervisors, they're paid on a salary or a kind of hourly perspective. It depends on what kind of system you're working in or how big of a dealership you're working at. So me personally, I still work flat rate. I still have to make my hours for the week. Now, generally, like I was saying in another video, where a couple of years ago I was making, 55 to 62 hours a week on average. As a shop foreman here at the dealership now, I am not nearly doing that much. That's because I've got a lot of other responsibilities. Now, just like I'm going through at the shop here tonight, I've got a couple of those responsibilities that I have to check up on. So just kind of give you guys a thought of what I kind of have to do. One of the things that I have to do is I have to go through our shop equipment, some of these bolts, nuts, screws, and everything that are over here, make sure everything's there is stocked up. We also have gloves that a lot of the technicians wear throughout the day, so we don't have to waste all of our money on soap and stuff, so gotta make sure that stuff's filled too. Then there's shop equipment, kind of like our CUDA machine. If you guys saw one of the videos that I did a couple of weeks back about some of the other things here in the shop, we have a whole room full of special tools and machines that have to be kept up to date. If you guys work with a lot of this newer equipment, you know that there's updates for it all the time. This Hunter alignment machine, it gets itself updated. You have to make sure that it stays up to date. Our battery machines, our GR8s, obviously every single year there's a new model year. Our AC machine, even our 1234YF AC machine, we have to keep that updated. Every 6 months you have to do an update. Scan tools, no different, needs update. Usually every 6-8 months or so, each one of the scan tools needs updated also. The Zeus, it's pretty finicky. Usually about every 3 months we'll do an update on that. Another couple points of maintenance is going to be the lifts. We've got certifications on lifts that need kept up on every year. Each year you have to call the companies and they have to come and inspect your lifts. Just one of the standards that we have around here. Each one of our air compressors back here in the corner, they need maintained all the time. We've got to change the pump oil in those, take care of those. The company does that one. Each year we try to get our pumps certified. We get our handle, our triggers certified, so we know how much each one of those triggers are actually putting out. Make sure it's the correct amount, so when we put in 6 quarts, you're not getting 7.5 quarts, and somebody else here in the shop doesn't really pay attention to those things. So another thing we got to pay attention to. Any of you guys that work for Chrysler, you know that the scan tools that we use are called the YTech system, and that of course is also very finicky. It likes to drop signal all the time. It needs updates. We have to go and mess with our freaking server, the hub on the wall. It gets messed up all the time. Another one of those things, just add it to the list. Key machine here, that one needs updated too. Throw it on the list too. Let's go up and look at the mezzanine, see what we're doing up there. All right, now we're getting upstairs here. We're walking up to our mezzanine because this is one of the big areas that I also have to take care of, and that is special tools and special tools and special tools for as long as the eye can see. Some of those special tools, they come out of date. You may not have to use some of those special tools for a 1992 Plymouth Voyager. So some of these need taken out of circulation each year. When we moved into this building, we had to keep track of all of these. So I ended up making a system that was based on the Google Forms and everything to be able to keep track of all of these special tools. There's roughly 3,500 to 4,500 of these special tools, kits, cases, random things that we all have, and we all have to keep very good track of. Now, how do we keep track of that, you might ask? Well, let's go back downstairs to my computer just to show you guys how. We'll just say a lot of the other guys in the shop, they're not on the tech savvy side of things. So we have our special tools where we made a Google form, and every single special tool is listed. Number 1 all the way through like 3,750 special tools. You got to know where each one of them are at all the time. Now, each time somebody needs one of them, I'm going to use the Control F, which is going to be the find function. I would put in the part number, and this being pretty much a Google or an Excel spreadsheet at that point, you can find any part number that you want in this whole sheet. Makes it really easy. As long as you know location, where to find it, you can just point it out to the tech. All right, go upstairs. It's on shelf 73A. At that point, if they know a shelf, they should be able to find it just fine. A couple of other things that's a little bit harder to show, but we do have them here. Here at our dealership, we deal a lot in converted vehicles, whether it be lifted trucks, lifted Jeeps. We work through a couple of companies, Southern Comfort, Rocky Ridge, as well as Sherrod. We do conversion vans, both in GM and the Mopar world with the ProMasters. So these ProMasters are another big thing that we have to do. Now, again, being a smaller dealership, we don't really have a warranty administrator that we have to work with a lot of these aftermarket companies. So when it comes to some of these lifted vehicles or these specialty vehicles, I'm the one who has to be able to look at them, and if we need any parts or anything, I've got to be able to order those specialty from those manufacturers, especially if they're under warranty. You have to take photos of those, email them off to the companies to be able to get warranty claims. I don't deal with the actual paperwork or anything, you might say, but as far as getting things moving along and actually taking care of those vehicles on the side of the service, that's usually what I do. Another big point of the things that I do is the certification side. I have to make sure that not only everything in the shop is certified, but as well as all of the technicians. You don't want to be able to have a bad circumstance come in where a technician works on a vehicle and then all of a sudden we get the warranty claim kicked back because we find out, oh, that guy wasn't really certified to do that because he missed these classes. I have to look at each one of the technicians' classes, put them into a class schedule, figure out what they're doing, and keep them up to date on their certifications so our dealership doesn't lose out in what we're trying to get paid for on warranty claims. Then, usually last but not least, it's the hey, come help me kind of thing. That's usually, I'm the go-to person in the shop. Nobody else in the shop is certified in everything across the board. So usually if they have issues with anything larger, electrical diagnostics, anything transmissions I have to do, anything with manual, driveline, transfer cases, I have to do those. Diesel, anything with that's level 3 or higher, I have to do all of that as well. So usually a lot of those bigger diagnostic things fall on my shoulders, but when they don't and one of the other techs does need help with some of those diagnostics, I do need to go and help them out. Now the last thing you might be asking is, buddy, how do you get paid for doing all that extra stuff? So I've come to an agreement with my boss. Yes, I still do work flat right here because it might seem like all of the stuff that I've been rattling off is a full-time job. However, keeping up on that stuff usually only takes about an hour out of each day to be able to complete all of that stuff. Sometimes when the technicians are a little bit more needy, I have to put an extra hour or so into helping them each day, but usually it's not all that bad. So I've got to keep up on all my flat rate work. So now that I've gone to the flat rate system where I'm also the shop foreman, instead of doing the 58 to 62 hours a week, I'm usually only averaging about 50 to 51 hours a week, which, you know, isn't anything to kick rocks at. It's pretty decent, but it's not anything close to what I was used to before, especially in the summer months when the times are good. So me and my boss, we come to an agreement to where if the shop is efficient in what we do, then I should be able to get paid a little bit more for the efficiency on the shop. So I get paid a certain dollar amount per shop hour that is turned. So the better the shop does, the better I end up doing also in the long run. Now, is all that right? Is all that fair? You know, you guys take it to yourselves to discuss about down in the comments below. Also, down in the comments below, for any of you guys who are shop foremans, especially the ones who are shop foremans in smaller dealerships like this, I want to hear what kind of responsibilities that you guys have, or the different kind of pay systems that you guys are working with also. Maybe this will give a little bit more information to those guys who want to be able to move into a shop foreman position compared to just being a flat rate technician alone, maybe taking on some more responsibilities. Now, I know, like I said, you guys who are working at bigger dealerships who are shop foremans of those shops, I can see where that would be a full-time gig and you would almost have to be paid hourly or salary to be able to make up for a lot of the work that you're doing. So to make up for that time, obviously that's got to be a totally different pay scale for you. So I want to hear from you guys also. Put some comments down below. Let's get a little bit of conversation started for everybody who is the shop foremans in your life. All right, that's about all I've got for you guys this evening. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure you subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you get notified when I come out with cool, awesome content just like this one here today. I appreciate it. As always, you guys stay awesome.